What's cracking with your snacking snacker stars? It's Brandon from the sAs Snack Food Appreciation Society coming at you on a truly frozen Friday. Snowzilla is here, and so am I for this edition of Pizza Night. And ladies and gentlemen, I got something from the freezer aisle. It was crazy. There was no pizzas left anywhere I went. Maybe just a few, but a lot I'd already reviewed before. And you might think I already reviewed this one before, but I haven't. We'll find out more about it on Pizza Night. Never fear, Pizza Night is here, so grab yourself a can of beer. It's Friday night, January 22nd, 2016. Bad cat. Second thoughts? Cat wish he hadn't eaten that second mouse. Looks like it. He looks stuffed. Anyway, today you'll see that I have highlighted the California Pizza Kitchen logo. That is because inside the ridiculously expensive branded Sac 5000, I've got something from that very place. Not the restaurant, mind you, but the freezer aisle. Bam! That is right. From CPK, the California Pizza Kitchen, I have their hand-tossed crust. And this is a special thing because most of the time their crust is that nasty, crackery, thin crust. And this time it is the barbecue recipe chicken with bacon. Now you're going to say to me, Brandon, you already did this pizza. No, I didn't. I did the restaurant-style crust barbecue chicken pizza, not barbecue chicken with bacon and not hand-tossed style crust. So this is, in effect, a different kind of pizza. And hey, that was like 3 or 4 years ago anyway, so things might have changed, including my palate by now. But let's go ahead and see what we got. We got applewood smoked bacon, barbecue seasoned white meat, chicken red onions, cilantro, smoked Gouda, and mozzarella cheeses, and a sweet, tangy barbecue sauce on our hand-tossed style crust. Flip this bad boy over. How do they want us to cook it? Well, let's see. They've got baking instructions, or directions they call them. They want us to go ahead and preheat to 400, remove the wrap, well duh, place the pizza directly on the center rack, and bake it for 18 to 20 minutes. You know the familiar story, my oven runs hot, so I'll be checking that bad boy at about 13 minutes and going from there. And apparently, this is inspired by their restaurant's most popular crust. See? People don't necessarily like that crackery, crappy, thin crust. Maybe they do like the hand-tossed. Maybe you rich people, you gourmets, need to think about that. Anyway, you can read that story if you want. I'll go ahead and pause it. And they're giving us an actual recipe here for a barbecue chopped salad. You can copy that down if you want as well. Let me go ahead and get this thing out of this box and I'll show you what it looks like. And there it is. You see it's not very big. My hand almost covers it up. And you can see that it does have chunks of chicken on there. It does have bacon. It's got some red onions. It's got some cheese. Let's see how this baby bakes up. And we'll taste it right after this on Pizza Night. Alright guys, I am back to take a look at this California Pizza Kitchen hand-tossed style crust barbecue recipe chicken with bacon pizza. And there it is, guys. Take a look at that bad boy in all its splendor. All in all, it was in the oven for about 16 minutes. I basically turned it at about 8 minutes and came back and it was done. It looks pretty good, guys. It doesn't look burnt or anything like that. There's a little bit of browning on the extraneous cheese that got up over there and maybe some barbecue sauce, but otherwise a good golden brown color pretty much all the way throughout. Taking a look a little bit closer now at the chicken, it looks golden brown. The onions didn't look like they cooked that much, but that's okay. Bacon, it's there. It's sparse in some areas, clumped up in others, but it's there. And otherwise, let's take a look at the bottom of this thing. See how it did. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, you know what time it is. It's time for the 420 slice. Alright, let me go ahead and pick that up. Again, with these smaller pizzas, I basically just put them into a 4-cut, because, I mean, look at that. That's barely the size of a piece of pizzeria pizza right there in my hand. It's a little wider, but it's so short. Taking a look real close. Yep. It's a little bit thick. not very floppy, but then again, most pizza crusts from frozen pizzas are not. There we go. Lots of toppings on that one. Looks pretty good, guys. I think I'm going to like this. I'll be right back to taste it and tell you more about it on Pizza Night. Alright, gang, I'm back to check out this barbecue recipe chicken pizza with bacon, or whatever they call it, from CPK, the California Pizza Kitchen. You know what? Interesting fact, I've never eaten in the CPK restaurant, even though there have been some pretty close to me over time. I just really haven't cared because it's a little too frou-frou for me, you know what I'm saying? I've already, talked about how I don't really like thin crust, and that's what a lot of their junk is sometimes. But apparently, they do have a hand-tossed crust as well, and I'm going to go ahead and give that a shot. Let me go ahead and pick up this piece of pizza, show it to you next to my noggin the way I always do. Not a very big piece of pizza, even though it is 1/4 of the pizza. Alright, so that's one thing about it. This pizza cost $5.49, and that was on sale at the local Safeway. Still pretty expensive for a pizza of this size, but I digress. Let me go ahead and take a bite, see what I think about this pizza. Alright, gang, I am back, and I'll tell you what, I'm pretty disappointed. This is not hitting the spot in any way, shape, or form. You would think with a restaurant's name on this, like CPK, that they'd take some pride in this, put some quality ingredients into it, make it very flavorful. Well, I don't think they've done any of the three. Building this thing from the bottom on up the way we always do, we've got the crust first. This crust is bland, somewhat cardboardy, not as bad as that Aldi pizza from a couple of weeks ago, but no flavor to the crust whatsoever. And it's a little bit tough. I mean, again, you can say, hey man, your oven's not calibrated correctly, but I mean, look at this pizza. It looks fantastic. Looks can be deceiving. Crust sucks. The crust sucks, and that's really a problem. They even try to fake me out with a fake-ass pizzeria bubble right there. That's not working. The best thing about this pizza is the barbecue sauce. It's a smoky barbecue sauce with very little sweetness, almost a vinegary taste going on with it. Pretty darn good. The Gouda and mozzarella cheese are almost indistinguishable from the rest of the slop. And then the meat, I don't even know if that is meat, man. The chicken is mushy, almost falls apart in your mouth before you even chew it. The bacon's rubbery. It does taste okay, but it's rubbery. All in all, this pizza, not a disaster, but it ain't great. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, onions, they're there, whatever. Putting it all together. In case you're wondering why I stopped a bunch of times, it's because of the helicopter in the background. But anyway, let me finish my thought. This pizza's not that good. Adding it up all together, I'm going to go ahead. I don't think it's even going to make a half of a thumb up at this point. I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a third of a thumb up. No value, no flavor, except for the barbecue sauce. I can get that out of a bottle in the refrigerator, whatever. I'm disgusted by this. Not disgusted, but very disappointed to say the least, guys. 1/3 thumb up. One of the lowest scores in the history of SAS Pizza Night. Speaking of the SAS, the Snack Food Appreciation Society, you need to join us on Facebook, and the way you do that is by looking down in the description where I've written some really cool things about this particular video, and there's a link to our Facebook group in that description. Click on it, join our group. Hundreds of the coolest people in the world are in our group. Why aren't you? Also, speaking of our group, one thing I neglected to do last week, even though I had the cup here, is thank the very lovely Diana Prince for her care package that she sent to me, including this awesome vintage early 2000s or maybe late 90s, I guess early 2000s, World Wrestling Federation. That's right, WWF Slurpee mug from 7-Eleven. Also, a bunch of treats for myself as well as my cat Dusty. You all know Dusty. And ladies and gentlemen, some things from that box will be reviewed in upcoming editions of Snack Briefs. So be sure to check that out in the meantime. But thank you, babe, for the treats. I'll talk to you later. And I'll talk to all you guys later, too. You can talk to me on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me, Brandon Reich SAS, at Brandon Reich SAS. Use the hashtag Snack Society all day, every day, whenever you're talking about snacks, so we know what you're talking about, because we do it, too. And you'll know what we're talking about as well. And beyond that, join the 4 horsemen of YouTube, like always. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. In the meantime, in between time, I'll see you next time. Snowzilla!